This is Late Tea Time, the golf betting podcast that finds the best betting value closer to the first shot being struck than anyone else.
Always gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information.
And hello, everybody. Welcome along to the Late Tea Time podcast. Late Tea Time is out there. Good to see you again. I am James Buttler and joined as always by this fella, Dave Tindall. Hello, Mr. T. And you are going to basically explain to me what the very best bets are for the few days ahead. And you're going to explain to me what Himmerland is, because that's what we're talking about.
Himmerland is a piece of land in... I forgot it. I prepped this as well.
I've just told him. We just Googled it before we came on. But anyway.
It's a bit of land. It's a land in Jutland or something, is it?
North of Denmark, isn't it?
Yeah, North Denmark.
Surrounded by the fjords.
Yes.
So that is where they're playing golf this week. And we are looking ahead to the Made in Himmerland tournament, which it's very nicely named, isn't it, really, I suppose? We have a top end of the leaderboard, Mr. T, which includes Matt Wallace. He's 22-1. Adri Anus is at 28-1. Richard Mansell, 28 as well. Robert McIntyre, 28. Tristan Lawrence is in there at 30s as well. But I actually took the liberty of reading one of your pieces ahead of play today, ahead of our podcast today. And I saw you mention the name Eddie Pepperell again.
Yes, first round leader piece. He's going to pop up actually again. He's
popping up quite a lot on the Late Tea Time podcast as we speak. I mean, we've come on a little bit earlier today. Usually, always the MO of this podcast is that we come as late as we can on a Wednesday, so that Dave can wrap his gargantuan golfing brain around all of the latest information, the press conferences, the rumours, the word from the courses, etc. But we're a little bit early today because you're heading off to watch Liverpool play football, aren't you?
I am, yes.
So, when you chose your team, Dave, you went down the L's and you chose the wrong L, didn't you? You missed Leeds United and you put your dart into Liverpool by accident.
I was just, if I'd been born a few years earlier, I would have been in like the Leeds glory years. So who knows? I could have been a Leeds fan. But by the time I was of an age to support a football team, Liverpool were the team. And I didn't have a local team. I'm from Cumbria. So Carlisle's an hour away. So every school child in my class was a Liverpool fan.
Liverpool fans at the moment, a defeat, and it's horrible, this is awful, and thinking, Leeds fan, we've been down to League One, every other week's a bad week, so get used to it. And it's terrible, we've only won 8 of our last 10 matches. I mean, it must be awful, Dave.
Well, when it happens rarely that you lose, it hurts more. You just become immune to it.
We're back currently fifth in the table.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, back to the golf, which is what we're here for, ultimately. The Made in Himmerland. What's your best bets and why? What have we learnt over the last few days? What have you wrapped your gargantuan golfing brain around?
Yeah, it's one of these weeks where it's kind of, I'm waiting for that nugget to sort of jump out at me, and nothing has quite appeared. I played snooker this morning with Phil Casey, the PA golf correspondent. I said, "Come on, Phil, what have you got for me?" And he said it's one of the few courses he's never been to.
So he was useless.
So he didn't come up any good. But I have lent on some other people because I've been reading around some of the previews this week, and some same names keep cropping up. And then I did think back to the success Matt Cooper had when he was a guest on here, when he put up a top 20 treble, didn't he, that landed. So I've got one of those because I've got a few names in mind, and I was thinking how best to combine them. And I think this is the way to do it.
So basically, if you're watching Matt, he can't beat you, so he's going to try and join you.
Yeah,
and copy what you've done. So, I mean, to be honest, it's a template worth copying because it was successful last time.
Yeah. And I was surprised at the odds that you can get. So it's a top 20 treble that you'll find on Betfair. So kicking off with it, a guy who I think if I was going to pick a winner this week, it's going to be Matt Wallace, who was the playoff loser last week at Crans-sur-Sierre in Switzerland. Now, he's a player that once he hits form, he's you can ride that train for a little while. And he played excellent. He had come top 10 on the PGA Tour just a couple of weeks back. So he's clearly in good nick if he can finish top 10 at that level. They did actually interview him today. There was nothing amazing. He just sort of confirmed how well he's playing and that he's a better player than he was a few years ago when he was winning regularly. But it was good confirmation. So he is around 20s, which is okay. You might want to take that. But for our purposes, he's going to be the first leg of a treble. So Matt Wallace, top 20 finish. That seems, excuse me, very, very doable for him. He's won this tournament before. It was at a different course, which obviously you've got to respect that it wasn't on this course. But he can play this course, and he's 5-4 to finish in the top 20. So I thought that was like a pretty safe leg, to be honest.
That's a decent enough price to take on its own as well, isn't it?
Yeah, you could do. Yeah, if you're thinking, because I think he'll be challenging again after last week's near miss. So he's 5-4. Leg 2, you mentioned him earlier, Eddie Pepperell. Now this market is a top 20 market. Well, you look at Eddie Pepperell's last 4 starts, 11th, 2nd, 20th, and 8th. So he's basically landed it in his last 4 tournaments. Now, he was 4th at this venue on debut, which is a nice little tick in the box. Last time he played it, he shot 2 middle rounds of 67. That was last year. So he didn't finish top 20 then, but he wasn't in the form he is in now. So clearly gets on well with this course. So you've got a 5-4 shot Matt Wallace. You've got 13-8 Eddie Pepperell. Now, the one that really makes the price is JB Hansen, the Dane on home soil. So he's the guy who's going to bump this up. And JB Hansen, I was looking for an outsider. And
is he from Himmerland?
I don't know, actually.
I'm going to Google it. Well, you keep talking. I'm going to Google him.
By the way, Himmerland, you seem to have to put the capital L in land. I don't know whether that's just for this tournament or not, but just to point that out. He came back to form last week. This was a guy who was sort of winning events a couple of years ago, and then he's gone off the boil a little bit. But he came back to life in Switzerland last week with a top 15. He's actually won on this course. It wasn't this event. They played a Challenge Tour event on this course, and he won that. He's on home soil. He's got that springboard of last week, so I think he could ride that to another nice finish here. And it was interesting because I'd picked him out as a bit of value. I've looked at some other people. I think Ben Coley's picked him out. I think Steve Rawlings has picked him out. I've seen a few other, good judges. By the way, congratulations to Ben Coley, who had a 200-1 winner last week.
Wow.
Yeah, on the Corn Ferry Tour. I must admit, my eye was off the ball. I wasn't really following, but so brilliant for Ben there. So, so JB Hansen, a guy who's slipped off the radar a little bit, but I think he's back on it now. I think Matt Cooper likes him as well. So he's on his own. He's 5-1. Top 20 finish. So if you put those 3 together in a treble, you've got Matt Wallace, Eddie Pepperell, JB Hansen, that top 20 treble. And here we go, 35-1.
I should have done a drum roll there, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
35-1. Wow.
None of this 6-1 that Matt had a few weeks ago.
None of this short price nonsense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Matt Wallace on his own, you could take him. Eddie Pepperell on his own, you could take him. You could take JB Hansen on his own at 5-1, couldn't you?
Yeah.
And then if you roll them all together at 35-1, that's a very nice week if it all comes to good. JB Hansen, by the way, Joachim B. Hansen was born in Hillerød, which, as far as I can see, isn't in Himmerland, but Denmark's not a big place.
No. Have you been?
I haven't actually, no. So I've watched Sunday Toksved on QI.
Oh, well, that counts then. Yeah. I've been to the airport and then I went across the Oresund Bridge, which the drama, The Bridge. Have you ever watched that? Brilliant series.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so that's the bridge they go across. I went on a golf trip from Denmark across the bridge to Malmo, just the other side of it in Sweden. So technically, yes, I've been to Denmark. My daughter's been to Denmark on a guides trip as well. So,
these Norwegian, Scandinavian detective things, A, are excellent, and B, we could maybe write one around a golf tournament, couldn't we? The Made in Himmerland murder mystery thing.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
I'll speak to you off air about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to tell you who did it, but JB Hansen, it's not looking good for you. It's going to be a long stretch. But anyway.
Okay. One slight little extra is that if you look at the history of this event, it seems to be guys who are from kind of Northern Europe or Western Europe who play better in it. So English players have got a really good record in it. So we've got Wallace and Pepperell going for us. The Scandies have done well. You've got JB Hansen playing for you. So it hasn't been a good event for, say, the Spanish. Maybe the weather's just that bit cooler. So another little reason, another little percentage why I've picked these three players. But yeah, 35-1 treble.
The Liverpool taking on Newcastle United this evening. The game you're watching. Let's have a score prediction from you, which I can rib you about next week.
2-0.
Goal scorers?
Salah will get one after not scoring in the 9-0 route.
That's amazing, isn't it?
I know. And Luis Diaz will get his 4th of the season. And Newcastle, I think they seem to have got quite a few injuries. So they're fairly resolute now. They're very tough to break down nowadays. Nick Pope will probably save a load of Liverpool shots, but I think they've struggled to get goal scorers at the minute. Newcastle, they've still got some average players. All that Saudi money has not quite kicked in yet. I think it'll be a few more transfer windows before we see it.
This is a golf podcast, but we're talking football. Yes. But I've got to say the Saudi money that's come into it, I quite like the way they're doing it. They're not just kind of going out and spending huge amounts of money and being vulgar.
I think their hand is forced a bit by financial fair play. So, but it's going to be a while yet. So Liverpool back to form. And when I go, Liverpool always win. It's just a thing.
Yeah. You've never seen them lose?
I was thinking about this. Honestly, I don't think I've seen Liverpool lose at home in this century.
Well, to be honest, you look at their home record.
I go about 6 times a year, by the way, so it's not every game. I go about 6 or 7 times a season.
They're unbeaten for a long time at Anfield, aren't they? In the Premier League, anyway. So
hopefully, we're not setting up. This isn't the setup, and this will backfire.
I will. If we are, I will be sure to remind you of it next week when we meet again around about the same time to talk about the golf of that weekend. Enjoy the football. Enjoy the golf. Good luck with all of your bets. And the bet this week, then, top 20 treble. This is with Betfair. Matt Wallace, 5-4. Eddie Pepperell, 13-8. JB Hansen, 5-1. Born in Hillerod, not in Himmerland. And you scroll all those together, wrap them all up. It's a 35-1 treble for the Made in Himmerland tournament this weekend. Anything else to get off your chest before I let you go to the football?
No, I have no further comment.
That makes a change. Well, thank you, DT. Enjoy your work. Enjoy your football and the weekend. Thanks for watching out there, everybody. And gamble responsibly, as always. I am now going to try and put up the right overlay, which is that one. And that shows you how you can follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and on Facebook. And then if I scroll down a little bit further, we'll play the outro music, and we'll see you again next week.
Always gamble responsibly. Visit begambleaware.org for more information.